In the US, political conversations are often reduced to two colors, a seemingly simple dichotomy that belies a far more intricate reality: red and blue. These colors represent more than party preference. They've become shorthand for entire ideologies and cultural identities. They symbolize a deep national divide, a chasm that seems to widen with each passing election cycle. Red states reliably vote Republican, forming a base of support that consistently champions conservative values. Favoring conservative policies on everything from economic regulation to social issues, they represent a distinct vision for the country. And covering much of the heartland and South, these states often reflect a more traditional way of life. Blue states support Democrats, offering a counterpoint to the red state narrative, embracing progressive policies that often prioritize social justice, environmental protection, and government intervention. And clustering on the coasts and in major cities, these states are often seen as hubs of innovation and cultural change. But no state is purely red or blue. The political landscape is far more nuanced than simple labels suggest. Every state contains communities of both, reflecting the diverse tapestry of American society. The reality is a purple mosaic, a blend of ideologies and perspectives that challenges the notion of a monolithic political identity. Not a simple two-color map, but a complex interplay of local issues, demographic shifts, and historical trends. Yet, the red versus blue framework dominates how we discuss politics, often overshadowing the complexities of individual issues. Shaping news, campaigns, and even our view of neighbors, this framework can create echo chambers and reinforce existing biases. Understanding this divide is key to understanding American politics. But it's equally important to look beyond it. We'll explore how these terms emerged, tracing their origins and evolution over time. What the data shows, examining the trends and patterns that define the American electorate, and why someone in rural Kansas might see the world so differently from someone in San Francisco, exploring the cultural and economic factors that shape political perspectives. This is more than an election story. It's a story about who we are as a nation. It's about identity, the values and beliefs that define us as individuals and as a society, and the forces pulling the country in different directions, creating tension and division in our communities and across the nation. The goal isn't to pick a side, to reinforce existing biases or deepen the divide, but to understand the game, to analyze the strategies and motivations that drive political behavior. The red and blue divide is a lens through which we view our national identity, shaping our perceptions and influencing our interactions. It influences how we talk, vote, and even where we live, creating self-sorting communities that reinforce political divisions. By unpacking this divide, we can better grasp the challenges facing American democracy and work towards a more united and understanding future. Let's look beyond the colors to the people and stories behind them, recognizing the shared humanity that binds us together. The journey starts with how these colors became political shorthand and the historical context that shaped their meaning, and why, despite the simplicity, the reality is far more complex, demanding a deeper understanding of the forces at play. The now familiar red for Republican, blue for Democrat color scheme feels like it's been around forever, an immutable part of the American political landscape. But the truth is, it's a relatively recent invention, a product of evolving media and a pivotal election. If you look back just a few decades, you'll find that networks used a variety of different colors to represent the parties. There was no consistent standard. Sometimes they even reversed the colors from one election cycle to the next, leading to a rather confusing visual experience for viewers. There was simply no established convention. It was largely a matter of aesthetic preference, a design choice made by the graphics department. The shift towards a more standardized color scheme began with the advent of color television, which brought with it new possibilities and challenges. Broadcasters recognized the need for clear, visually engaging maps that could quickly and effectively communicate complex election results to a growing audience. The pivotal moment came in 2000, when the Bush-Gore election became a protracted legal and political battle that dragged on for weeks. During this period, most major networks consistently used red to represent Bush and blue to represent Gore, solidifying the association in the public consciousness. For what felt like an eternity, Americans were glued to their television screens, constantly analyzing those red and blue maps. The constant repetition and high stakes of the election ensured that these color associations would stick in the minds of viewers. In the aftermath of the 2000 election, media outlets largely maintained this color convention, and it wasn't long before the terms red state and blue state permeated everyday language, becoming shorthand for political leanings. So, what began as a simple graphic design decision, driven by the practical needs of television broadcasting, has since evolved into a powerful and deeply ingrained symbol of political identity, shaping the way we understand the American electorate. Today, these colors carry a weight of meaning that extends far beyond the simple act of casting a ballot. They influence how we perceive ourselves, how we categorize others, and how we engage in political discourse. While the red-blue shorthand offers a convenient way to simplify a complex and nuanced reality, it also runs the risk of oversimplifying and deepening our sense of division, creating artificial boundaries where more complex understanding is needed. This seemingly accidental color code, born from a combination of technological advancements and a particularly contentious election, now profoundly defines the way we talk about and understand American politics. It serves as a powerful reminder that even the most seemingly entrenched and fundamental symbols can in fact have surprisingly recent and contingent origins, shaped by factors that are often overlooked. And it highlights that sometimes the very way we perceive and interpret the world around us is shaped by a confluence of factors, including the unpredictable element of chance. Today's electoral map reveals a clear pattern, a visual representation of a nation divided yet united under a single banner. It's a tapestry woven with the threads of different ideologies, values, and ways of life. The South, Great Plains, and Rocky Mountains are solidly red, painting a picture of conservative strongholds that have remained consistent over time. These regions often prioritize traditional values and a smaller role for government. Conversely, the coast and big cities are blue, representing progressive epicenters that champion diversity, innovation, and social change. These urban areas are hubs of cultural and economic activity, attracting people from all walks of life. States like Wyoming and Alabama haven't voted Democratic in decades, their political identities deeply rooted in Republican principles. This consistent voting pattern reflects a long-standing alignment with conservative policies and values. While California and New York are Democratic strongholds, bastions of liberal ideology and progressive policies, these states have consistently supported Democratic candidates, reflecting their commitment to social justice and environmental protection. The real contests, however, happen in swing states, the battlegrounds where the fate of the nation is often decided. These states are characterized by their unpredictable electorate and their ability to sway the outcome of presidential elections. Places like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Arizona, states that defy easy categorization and where the political landscape is constantly shifting. These states are home to diverse populations and competing interests, making them prime targets for political campaigns, where elections are decided by razor-thin margins, highlighting the importance of every single vote. These close contests underscore the deep divisions within American society and the intense competition for political power. In 2020, Biden won Arizona by just over 10,000 votes out of millions cast, a testament to the power of a few determined individuals. This narrow victory demonstrated the potential for even traditionally conservative states to embrace change. Most states are predictable, offering a sense of stability in an otherwise volatile political environment. These safe states provide a reliable base of support for each party, shaping their strategies and priorities. But a handful of battlegrounds decide the presidency, wielding disproportionate influence over the direction of the country. These swing states are the focus of intense political attention as candidates and parties pour resources into winning their support. The divide isn't just state level, it permeates every aspect of American society, from the smallest towns to the largest cities. This division is reflected in our political discourse, our social interactions, and even our personal relationships. It's urban versus rural, a clash of cultures and values that shapes our political landscape. This divide is often attributed to differences in economic opportunities, social attitudes, and access to information. County maps show a sea of red with blue islands, a stark visual representation of this urban-rural divide. These maps highlight the concentration of Democratic voters in urban centers and the dominance of Republican voters in rural areas. Cities surrounded by conservative countryside, creating a complex web of political and social interactions. This juxtaposition of urban and rural communities often leads to tensions and misunderstandings, as different values and priorities clash. The sharpest disagreements aren't necessarily between Texas and California, the two largest states with vastly different political orientations, but between urban centers and their rural neighbors, where the most profound cultural and political differences often reside. These local divisions can be just as significant as the national ones, shaping the everyday lives of Americans. This urban-rural split is the heart of America's political divide, a fundamental tension that shapes our elections, our policies, and our national identity. Understanding this divide is crucial for navigating the complexities of American politics. The map's colors tell a story, a narrative of competing ideologies and shifting demographics. It's a story of a nation grappling with its past and striving towards an uncertain future, of where people live, work, and what they value, reflecting the diverse experiences and perspectives that make up the American mosaic. These values and lifestyles shape our political preferences and our sense of belonging. It's not just about geography, the physical landscape that defines our nation. It's about identity, the sense of who we are and where we belong in the world. Our political identities are often intertwined with our cultural backgrounds, our social networks, and our personal experiences. The color-coded map is a snapshot of deeper social and cultural currents, revealing the underlying forces that shape our society. It's a reflection of our shared history, our evolving values, and our ongoing struggle to define what it means to be American. Understanding the map means understanding the forces shaping American life, the demographic shifts, economic trends, and cultural changes that are transforming our nation. It requires us to look beyond the surface and delve into the complexities of American society, and why the battle lines are drawn where they are, revealing the fault lines that divide us and the common ground that unites us. It's a story of division and unity, of conflict and compromise, of a nation constantly striving to live up to its ideals. Today's political divisions are rooted in centuries of American history and geography. New England's communal traditions fostered blue state support for public institutions and collective action. The South's individualistic, hierarchical society, built on plantation agriculture, bred skepticism of centralized authority. The Civil War and civil rights struggles cemented the South's political identity, shifting it from Democratic to Republican. The West's frontier spirit emphasized self-reliance and distrust of distant government, shaping the politics of the Mountain West and Great Plains. Geography matters. Coastal states became centers of trade and diversity, fostering cosmopolitan, progressive cultures. The rural interior remained more isolated and traditional, resistant to rapid social change. The land itself has shaped our political tribes. These historical and geographic forces still echo in today's red and blue divide. Where you live often reflects how you vote, and why. The past is always present in American politics. Economics drives political allegiance, and the red-blue divide mirrors the nation's economic structure. Blue states and cities are hubs for tech, finance, and higher education, industries that thrive on innovation and global connections. Red states rely more on agriculture, manufacturing, and resource extraction, sectors hit hard by globalization and automation. Economic anxiety in these regions fuels support for deregulation and protectionist policies. Blue states grapple with high income inequality, sparking debates over social safety nets and wealth taxes. Democrats build coalitions of the wealthy and the working poor. Republicans focus on pro-business policies and lower taxes. These economic realities shape two distinct sets of political priorities. The result? A nation divided not just by party, but by the very nature of its economy. Where you work and what you earn often predict how you vote. Beyond economics, the divide is about culture and identity. Religion is a major fault line. White evangelical Protestants are a core Republican bloc, while secular and minority faith voters lean Democratic. The decline of religious affiliation, especially among the young, is reshaping the political landscape. Race and ethnicity also define the parties. Democrats are a diverse coalition. Republicans remain mostly white, especially among non-college voters. These differences fuel fundamental conflicts over what America should be. Red America values tradition, faith, and liberty. Blue America champions diversity, tolerance, and progress. These aren't just policy disagreements, they're clashes of worldview. The culture war is central to modern polarization. Identity shapes politics as much as any law or policy. The media landscape now amplifies the red-blue divide. Once, most Americans got news from a few shared sources, creating a common reality. Today, cable news and the internet let people choose outlets that confirm their beliefs. Conservatives turn to Fox News, liberals to MSNBC, and similar sources. Social media algorithms intensify this, feeding users content that provokes outrage or validation. Echo chambers form, making it rare to encounter opposing views. Trust in media and institutions erodes and political opponents become enemies. The media ecosystem fuels division, not understanding. When facts are contested, finding common ground is nearly impossible. The way we consume news shapes the way we see each other. The divide isn't just on maps. It's in our daily lives. Americans are sorting themselves, living in communities with like-minded neighbors. This big sort means fewer interactions with people who disagree, deepening misunderstandings. Politics now shapes friendships, workplaces, even marriages. Disagreement feels personal. The other side isn't just wrong, but bad. Social pressure to conform is strong, and dissent can be costly. The illusion of unanimity grows, making divisions harder to bridge. We're not just divided, we're growing apart. The political map is becoming a social reality. The picture of polarization is stark, but not hopeless. Bridging the divide starts with seeing the humanity in those who disagree. Engage in conversations to understand, not just to argue. Reforming the political system, like open primaries or ranked choice voting, could reward compromise. Rebuilding local communities and cross-partisan institutions can foster trust. Shared non-political goals help break down stereotypes. Reducing polarization requires empathy, listening, and a commitment to democratic discourse. The future depends on seeing past red and blue to our shared values. The work is hard, but essential. America's unity is worth the effort.